Welcome to episode number 24 of the Mastering Marriage podcast, where our goal is to strengthen, unite, and restore your marriage. Hey everybody, my name is Amanda Taylor. And together with my husband David, we are the co-founders of MendOurMarriage.com. And our goal is to break the back of divorce by bringing married couples together to be accountable, keep the passion alive, and expose the hidden issues that try to rip marriages apart. And we are back in the booth today with another listener's question. Here again with me, Amanda, and my hunky, lovable husband, David.
Hunky just sounds a little interesting, but
well,
anyway,
you are buff. I mean,
yeah, but hunky just makes me sound like I'm a smell or something. I don't like a.
I've never heard anybody describe hunk as smelly.
I don't know. It's just like
Only
I just
you, David.
envision like a sweaty, hairy guy or something. Just breathing and spitting on stuff.
Ugh.
Is that too much?
That is.
A little too much. Okay,
That's too deep.
But anyway, guys, welcome, welcome to episode number 24 of the Mastering Marriage podcast, and we appreciate you listening in today.
We sure do.
Unfortunately, over the weekend, we did not hit the first or top spot in the iTunes library, but that's all gravy. We're going to keep fighting at it, and we will continue to covet your support. We need more ratings and reviews. We did get a handful over the weekend, and you guys will be getting a new book from Mandy.
You sure will.
Yes, you will. But thank you guys for that. And anyway, this podcast is brought to you on behalf of MendOurMarriage.com, where our job is simply to do one thing, to break the back of divorce.
Snap, crackle, pop.
That's all we trying to do. You know, we got fights against cancer, fights against ALS. Now we're going to have a fight against divorce.
That's
and
right.
We take this serious because, I'm a product of a divorced household. Mandy's a product of a divorced household. Our dogs almost became products of a divorced household because we almost went through it, and Dusty and Ginger would have, we would have had to break them up. Yeah, and so, that wouldn't have been good. And so we've been there. We know what it's like to have a horrible, sucky marriage because ours was horrible and sucked at one point. And so for those who are there, we feel you. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we spend the time developing creative resources for you, doing this podcast 3 days a week, because we want to help your marriage survive. And coming up at the top of November, we have some really great new things coming for you guys. I mean, when I say new, intense resources, they're intense resources. Like, imagine, Mandy don't know I'm about to say this, but imagine your marriage is doing so bad that you need to come stay with us for full frontal intervention, like hardcore. Mm-hmm. That's the type of stuff that we opening up soon. So just be on the lookout for that.
A little sneak peek.
Yeah, because it's going down. But anyway, I'm happy because we have a husband who submitted a question today. So that's great, fellas.
Yes, it is.
Fellas, we need more. Yeah. Anyway, I've talked enough. I've monologued enough. So Mandy, why don't you go ahead and read the question from him, and then we're gonna drop some nuggets on him.
All right, here we go. This listener said, I started following your page and been looking through all your posts, and I must say that these posts give me hope. I read one of your posts where you all talk about speaking good things to your spouse, no matter how bad and how low the marriage is. But how can you continue to speak good things if your spouse is consistently reminding you they don't want to be with you and they're ready for a divorce, and they can't wait to file papers, or they no longer want to be married to you? Okay. Every day I try to speak life into our marriage, but it seems that once I do, the negativity follows behind. I'm trying to work hard for my marriage. Paperwork in filing has not been done on anyone's behalf. I don't want the divorce, and when I said I do, that was that. But she, on the other hand, does.
Okay, so this is interesting because pretty much what he's saying is he's putting in some effort, and it appears that she is not. He wants to stay. She wants to go. He's motivated.
Yes.
She's reluctant. Just keep those two words in mind, not for today, but for future references, because we're gonna get back to that.
We'll bring those up again.
Yes. So let me first I want to man, do you mind if I do some guy talk with him real fast?
Do
some guy talk with him. Man cave talk.
Man cave.
And then we got 6 tips that we're gonna give him.
Okay.
So give him some guy talk, and then we're gonna drop 6 tips, and then we're gonna be done.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. So first,
let's go.
Okay. So let me say this, my brother. First, in order for your marriage to survive and then thrive, she has to be committed to the marriage working. It's going to be extremely difficult to have any type of success if she's wanting out while you're staying or wanting to stay in the marriage. And so at some point, there's going to have to be a transition from not wanting to stay in the marriage to at least giving it a try. Even if it's 1%. I was a 1%er.
Yes, you sure was.
I was one of those guys that was like, you know what, this ain't going to work, but I'm going to stay in the house, and we're going to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got my body here. That's it.
That was
I can't promise you nothing else but my body. And it worked. But so we at least got to get her to be a 1%er. If we can get her to be a 1%er, there is hope. If she is really serious about not staying in the marriage, it's going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be even more difficult. So we want to get her there. And the reason I say this is because there's a scripture that says, how can 2 walk together unless they agree? Right?
That's right.
And so if there's no agreement, that if you think about it, that's the whole basis of a marriage is agreement. Mm-hmm. 2 walking together.
Right.
And so
2 becoming one. And
so we need her to at least agree at some level, on some level, okay? And so if she's in, she has to work hard at refraining from saying she wants out. So when she's in, if she's committed, she has to work hard at not saying I want out. Okay? So get that out the way first. Mm-hmm. And from what it sounds like she's very unhappy with the overall quality of the marriage. And it also appears that she is not shy about voicing her displeasure in the marriage. So, and obviously, women are going to be more vocal with how they feel, especially if they're frustrated. And so often, however, what is said is not what is truly felt. So I'm going to just say this I'm going to just dive deep a little bit. And so that way it makes sense. What is said is not what's truly felt. For instance, her surface emotions may be anger, but at her core, she may be experiencing hurt, fear, insecurities, etc. But she will not give you her core emotions if she don't trust you with them. I need you to hear me. A woman will not give you their core emotions if they can't trust you with them. Okay?
That is so true.
So if she's feeling hurt, fear, insecurities, but you're getting anger, it's because she's not able to trust you with those deeper, heavier emotions. Okay? So she's not going to give you the core emotions if she cannot trust you with them. Instead, what she's going to do is her core emotions, now get this, her core emotions will be filtered through her surface emotions, and she's going to speak about, you're going to get what she feels on the surface, but not what she feels on the core. Hope that's not too confusing. Okay? So her emotions, pretty much what I'm saying, will be covered with the pain, with the anger, with the frustration. So she may be really truly motivated by the fear, the insecurity, the hurt, but those emotions will be covered or painted with the feelings of anger, frustration, disappointment, because those are the things that's lurking on the surface.
Right.
And if she doesn't trust you with the core emotions, then the defense mechanisms that she's using to protect herself, which is the anger, frustration, those things, that's what you're going to receive. And so you want to make sure that you're able to get her to trust you with her emotions. See, women trust men who can not only get what they say, but get how they feel. Okay? And most men struggle in this area, but that's the truth. Women trust men who can not only get what they say, but also get how they feel. Women want to be vulnerable to men who they trust. If a wife loses respect in her husband, she will often become very demeaning and very negative. And so these are just telltale signs that she's struggling to trust you. If she's very disrespectful or demeaning or very pessimistic, it's because there's something else deeper beneath the surface that she doesn't trust you with. And this is important because as a husband, that's your job. Your job is to protect your vulnerable wife. And if she's not being vulnerable around you, that's telling you that she doesn't trust you to protect her. Okay? I just want to have some man-to-man talk with you real fast.
That's
okay?
good.
So you get that? So next I'm going to give you, we're going to give you 6 tips. These are 6 things that I want you to try in order to get her to become vulnerable. Okay? And these are going to be good, so just take some notes. Okay? So Mandy, talk about the first tip. Tip number 1.
Okay, so tip number 1 is discover her love language and practice every day expressing it to her. Okay, so hopefully you know what love language is. So if you don't, we'll just tell you real quick.
Go over the 5, yeah. Just give me a quick 5.
The quick 5, that means her love language will be either acts of service, quality time, physical touch, gifts, or words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay? So rewind that back if you need to. But you need to figure out which one of those are her primary love language, which is how she receives love.
Yeah.
And so once you figure out what her love language is, start little by little. Don't overdo it. Little by little.
Well, we got some tips. They're in the tips. See, the thing is, you don't be reading the notes. You just be going. It's good that we're on the same page, but I got a structure for them, baby. You got to trust this.
So figure out which one of those are her love language, and again, try something every day.
Practice every day expressing
it every day.
So if her love language is physical contact, it doesn't mean that she only expresses it through sex. It could be just a courteous rub on the back, or a hug, or holding her hands for 10 seconds.
Right.
Something like that. But you gotta understand what her love language is and how she expresses it the most, which is the dialect of her love language. Dr. Gary Chapman has a wonderful book called The 5 Love Languages. And you can actually get that on our resource page on the website. We have a couple of affiliate links that go to Amazon. You can click the book. You'll purchase it directly from Amazon. 5 Love Languages. Every married couple should have that book. Every married couple.
Should be in your arsenal.
And we're actually looking to try to get him on the show. So be praying, because we're going to try to get Gary Chapman on the show. The Gary Chapman, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, step number 2 is this. Take the next 7 days to study your wife. Okay? When she emotes to you, listen to her heart and to what she is saying, even though she may have not verbalized it. So don't go with what she says with her words. Read between the lines. Read beneath the surface. That means for you as a husband, you have to listen. You have to listen. And make sure that you're listening to what her heart is saying. Speak through her surface emotions and go directly to her core emotions. So if she says something and it on the surface seems anger or frustrating, go beneath the surface and speak to what's causing that anger and that frustration. Speak to the core of the hurt, okay? And it's going to take some practice, but I'm challenging you with that. Women know how to do this with other women, okay? That's why they hang out with their best friends and they don't have a problem telling them the secrets of their heart. Husbands, dudes, we struggle with interpreting what a woman is really saying. You know, she could be looking at us. If we're single, she could be looking at us across the room, and we think that means she think we're cute. You know, so, but anyway, so step number 3, baby, because I can stay on that all day. What's step number 3?
Okay, step number 3 is instead of speaking positive things, do positive things. For instance, for the next 3 weeks, pick 2 days each week to treat her. Okay? So, you know, instead of, it's kind of going back to what I started to say earlier, don't overdo it. Pick a few days, and you don't have to tell her. You know, you could just go ahead.
As a matter of fact, don't tell her. Don't tell her what you're going to be doing. Yeah. So 2 days out of the week. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So pick 2 days over the next 3 weeks that you are going...
No. 2 days a week.
2 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay, for the next 3 weeks to treat her. Okay, so especially once you learn your her love language, you'll be able to know exactly what types of things to treat her. That way, there are things that you know that she will appreciate.
Yeah, so if she likes quality time, show up to her job on lunch, take her out for lunch.
Scoop her up.
Or she likes gifts, deliver flowers to her job, right?
Yes,
acts of service, make sure that you fix her lunch, or tea or breakfast in bed.
Or do the dishes.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. So make sure you study your wife, and then, you know, for the next 3 weeks, pick 2 days to treat her. Okay? 2 days each week to treat her. Okay? Step number 4 is this. Every night for the next 7 days, okay? Hear me closely. Every night for the next 7 days, you are to eat dinner together without any distractions. So you're going to eat dinner at the table, if that's possible. Turn off the TV. Keep the phones in the bedroom. Make sure the kids are gone if there are kids. And I want the conversation to be organic and let it flow naturally. But I want you guys to spend focused time specifically with each other talking. It doesn't have to be talking about the relationship, but just talking. Not arguing, talking. Focused time. And if you can include some humor, do it. Because women love humor. What's 5? What's step number 5, baby?
All right, step number 5 is have sex with her at least 3 times this week, and you take the lead every time that you do it.
Yeah.
Okay? So make sure you go at her pace.
Yeah.
So just going back to her question just really quick, she does seem very passionate and motivated to, end the marriage. So if you do initiate and she does, and she is reluctant, do not take offense to that, but just still pursue her.
Yeah, well, this is...
Take those opportunities
exactly,
to pursue her.
Because this is all written with the expectation that she is going to reject you a little bit.
Correct.
And so this is, we know that she's going to be resistant a little bit because she's wanting out. And she's going to think you're just trying to manipulate her to stay in. But anyway, we're going to leave it at 5 because we're over the 15-minute mark and we had more to give you. But we may have to just do a part 2. But yeah, so just take those 5. That's enough. I don't want to give you too much anyway. And then we'll have to do a part 2. I know I don't want to end it like this, but what you think we should just give them the last one?
I think we need to.
Okay, fine. We're going to do the last one. Number 6 is this. Write her a letter and have her write you back this week. In the letter, you are to express your desires for your wife and your desires for the marriage. Also express your shortcomings and your plan for improving yourself as a husband.
And again, if she does not write it back, then you may have to, initiate...
Write her another letter.
Yes, write her another letter or initiate one-way communication here. Again, don't get offended because apparently, she may think of it as manipulation and too much. Mm-hmm. So you still go ahead and write that letter.
Yeah.
And you pour your heart out to her.
Yeah, yeah. And all this is designed to eventually decrease the resistance.
Exactly.
And it'll happen. If she loves you, it'll happen. And so those are the 6 tips. Your job is to learn your wife. You gotta learn your wife, man. You gotta learn her. You have to learn her.
It's so important.
It is so important to understand your wife. I mean, like her emotions, not just her on the surface, not what she likes, but her emotions, her core, her essence. You have to study your wife's essence. I can't stress that enough. That's right. So anyway, I know we went over. Forgive us, but this was some good juicy nuggets for you. And let us know how it works. We will keep our ears open. Email us. Connect with us on Facebook. Hey, guys, we want some more reviews. So more ratings and reviews. We appreciate you guys. But we're over time, so we're going to rush this closing. Okay? We're done, y'all. Deuces.
Deuces.